Hello everyone. It's great to see you again. I'm here to do the next in my series 2, Guidance and Development for the Life Path 7. Now I've already done a Life Path 7 video and I'm going to put that video into the description box if you haven't already seen the Life Path 7 video, because it's important that you watch that first. The reason why I've done these guidance videos is, right, it's all very well and good to know what your personal mission is if you're a Life Path 7, what your personality might be, what your talents or abilities or the way you are naturally might be, is all useful information, absolutely. But then you've got to think about, how can I take my life forward? You know, you've got all this information about what you're meant to be doing in your life. You know what faculties you have to help you achieve that. You know about yourself and how your life path and your expression and all your other core numbers affect your personality and your abilities. However, how can you use them? And this is what this video is all about, is how, if you're a Life Path 7, how can you take your life forward and use what you've learned within these videos to help become the best Life Path 7 you can be. Right, so I can't think of anything else that I need to say before moving on. So let's get started. Right, let's get my computer to work first of all. Right, so as we know, when you're a Life Path 7, your chosen mission for this lifetime is to remember that this body is just the machine. You have a soul within you that has gone not only through this life, but previous lives as well. And it's this soul's intuition that we should all be listening to, but more so for the Life Path 7, because 7s tend to overthink. They look at textbooks, they look at what other people have said, and often base their decisions on overthinking what other people have done rather than trusting themselves. And it's very, very important. Let's try and get rid of this box. I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but I finally got rid of the box. Anyway, to try and trust the inner voice within you. Now, I'm a Life Path 7, and there's been many times in my lifetime where my inner voice and my intuition has screamed at me of a way that I should go. And then of course I sit down, I overthink it, I get all logical and think to myself, do you know what, the best course of action is actually the other course of action, even though my intuition is saying no, go right. I overthink things and end up going left. And this is a major thing for a Life Path 7 to come through, is to trust the soul within them. When your soul says something's not right, unless it's based on fear, which is what you really need to think about, it probably isn't right. And same the other way too. And learning also to be open, to trust yourself and other people in your life not to hurt and betray you, so that you can show the world exactly what you are, exactly who you are, and teach the world the wisdom and the spiritual knowledge that we desperately as a human race need to learn. And also know as well, Life Path 7s, that you're going to go through difficulties, you're going to go through issues, okay, that you need to stay firm through that and not to give up. And the reason why you go through difficulties in this life is to teach you something. No one learns anything through the good times. Remember that. Anyway, I'm going to stop gabbling and get started onto the next slide. Right. So most importantly for the Life Path 7, right? For all life paths, this is good. But for the 7, this is most difficult, and it is where you need to focus, guys. And it's where I need to focus, is trust the spirit within you, right? Trust the soul within you. That means trust your inner voice. When your spirit or your soul or your gut speaks to you, listen and trust it. It's vitally important, because I've many times in my life I haven't. And boy, do I wish I had. Let's just put it that way without going into too many details. But not just trust in the soul within you, but in the soul within others. Remember, we're all on a different path in life, okay? And we're all meant to be good and bad people. We're all meant to make good and bad decisions. It's all part of our evolution. So trust the soul within you. Trust in others in your life, and trust in the way that your life is going. It's happening for a reason. It's happening for your evolution. Okay, very, very important. Trust others and feel safe to open up and share your wisdom with others, because that's the whole point of you being here. You're a spiritual teacher, guys. You're here to learn to trust your own soul and then teach others to trust their own soul. This is the biggest thing you need to do as a Life Path 7. So what Life Path 7s tend to do, and me as well, we focus too much on the thinking mind. We're always researching and studying the theories of others, looking at the ideologies of others, rather than trusting in your own intuition. So what I've started to do more, because I'm a big researcher and I love to look at the ideas of others, is I will look at those theories, I look at those ideologies, but at the end of the day, there's going to be some parts of those theories and ideologies that you're not going to resonate with. Make sure you're only taking in and following the parts of the theories and the ideologies that resonate with the soul within you, okay? Just because you listen to a theory or an ideology doesn't mean you have to follow every ounce of it, okay? So it's all well and good to research and read people, but you will find one day that you can research all you like, but it's all within you already. And I'm still learning this, guys, that the knowledge and the wisdom is inside me already, but I still can't help myself at looking and learning all the time. You know, it's what keeps me alive. But really, for you as a Life Path 7, and for me also, it's all already there within us. And we've got to learn to listen to that. Big thing for us all. As I've just said, we're all seekers until we realize it's all within us. And we need to improve our faith. Faith is important for a Life Path 7. Faith and trust, not fears of betrayal and having like a protective shield up and hiding yourself away just in case someone hurts you. That's not the path you don't want to go down as a Life Path 7. Trust your soul. Trust others, trust the difficulties you go through and learn from them, and trust others not to hurt you. I know this is difficult, especially for a 7, but it's vital that we do that as 7s. Next time you have a decision to make, listen to your inner feelings. Don't ignore them. Many times I've completely overthunk and ignored all my intuitive feelings. Not a good thing to do. If your heart says one way and your logic says the other, look down the path of your heart. Okay, very, very important, especially for a 7. Follow your gut, follow your soul, follow your heart. Do not overthink. Do not talk yourself out of things. If your heart says it's right, you have to do it. I can't stress this enough. Trust your own ideas. Don't just parrot the ideas of others. There's going to be ideas of others that you take on board and that you really resonate with, and that's fine. But what do you perceive? What do you think all that theory and ideology means? And bring a little or more of yourself into what you believe, think, and perceive. Okay, it's very important. If something doesn't feel right, if you're about to do something or someone suggests something and it doesn't feel right, then it isn't. But one thing you need to check before you really, really decide in your heart that it isn't right is, are your gut, if it doesn't feel right, make sure that that isn't based on fear. Okay, because there have been some times where I felt, it doesn't really feel right for me to do that, and then, but when I really thought about it, it was because it was stepping out of my comfort zone, and I felt that that was just going to be too hard, and I was actually fearful. So sometimes you have to think, is it my intuition Or is it just because I'm shit scared? And most of the time it's your intuition, but always analyze yourself. Am I thinking that this isn't right because I'm scared or because I'm stepping out of my comfort zone? Once you're sure that those two reasons are not the case, then it's got to be your gut and your soul is telling you the truth. But the difficulty is for us sevens and for other people as well. When do you know when it's your intuition or whether it's fear? Self-analysis. Okay, if you're unsure whether what you're feeling is your intuition or fear, self-analysis. Think about it. Be honest with yourself. It's very, very important. When difficulties happen in your life as well, sevens, don't run away and hide in a room. These difficulties are necessary lessons. What have you to think about? What do you learn when things are going well and when you feel good? But what are the amazing things you learn after each difficulty is sorted or within each difficulty? When things go wrong, what do you learn? Really think about all the things you've learned throughout your lives and the difficulties that you've had to come past to achieve them. And how has that improved you as a person? Nobody learns anything in a utopia. Life's not meant to be a utopia. We're meant to be learning. We're meant to be bypassing and going past difficulties in order to learn lessons that will serve us in the future and in future lives. Also, people, good and bad, okay, enter your life for a reason, okay? They're all here to teach you something, okay? Don't let fear rule your life. Don't push people out of your life because of fear of betrayal. If these people are going to betray you, then that's the learning curve you're meant to be going to. Now, I'm not saying trust everyone you meet, but use your intuition. Is that person trustworthy? They may betray me, but what might you learn if they did? You've got to take a walk on the wild side. You've got to feel the fear and do it anyway. Do not let fear of betrayal let you hold back your wisdom and everything that you have to offer the world as a spiritual teacher, because that's what you are, sevens. You're a spiritual teacher. Okay. Sometimes what we think is bad, what we think we go through that's bad, oh, my cat's going in and out. Maybe I should have opened the door and let him through, poor little mite. Anyway, sometimes what we think is bad and the difficulties we go through, and then somebody does betray us or do something bad to us, and then we think, I knew I shouldn't have trusted them, they betrayed me just like I knew they would. But think about it. Some of these difficult things can bring positive changes. And then if you think to myself, what have I learned through this process? You'll realize that everything you go through is for a reason. And if you learn the lessons that you're meant to learn from these experiences, from these events, then you can't go wrong. Think on. So your intense, and another thing that you sevens have in your life path is that you tend to isolate yourself, because you know in your intuition that your destiny involves developing in here. It's inner processing, inner spiritual evolution, rather than external achievement. And that can cause many sevens to disconnect from reality, sit on their own in an isolated situation, immerse themselves in mystery and truth, which is a great thing, but not if it's stopping you from really getting to grips with life, communicating with others and really engaging in life. That's what you're here to do. Otherwise, you'd still be in the spirit world. You kind of get feelings a lot, because I know I do, that you just want to run away, live in an ashram, live in the woods and not see anyone, and just get the nightmare that is this world out of my life. Sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed, you can get a bit distant and disconnected from people as you start to mistrust others a little, become a bit of a loner if you're not careful. and then you become like this mysterious person, and then when you're mysterious to people, they just don't trust you, and then that becomes a vicious circle and you end up more isolated. Now, I know sevens like to spend some time on their own, but it is really important that you don't isolate yourself completely, that you share your wisdom with others. Don't isolate. Don't take all that amazing spiritual information and hide it away in a box somewhere because you're scared that somebody might hurt you. No, share that wisdom. Not everyone is out to get you. Trust your soul. If your soul tells you to share, you have to share. Do not let your fears stop you. So remember, you're a spiritual truth seeker. You're a spiritual teacher. Think about that. You're a spiritual teacher. No spiritual teacher can spiritually teach if they're isolated. Okay? You're a spiritual teacher focused on the journey within. So that's how you could end up isolated sometimes. But you must take care not to isolate yourself more than is healthy. You're here to become a spiritual teacher, teach others to trust their own soul. So when you've trusted your soul, you're here to teach others to do the same. And you can't do that in isolation, guys. You have learned that intuitive wisdom. It should be shared. Share it to help other people. That's what you're here to do. We all need others in our lives or we stunt our own evolution. So think to yourself, how can I become a spiritual teacher? What would I like to teach? There's so many facets of spiritual teaching, and whatever subject that really, really resonates with you, whether it's meditation, whether it's numerology, whether it's astrology, whether it's being involved in religion, which it isn't often with the seven, but sometimes it could be. What spiritual road could you go down? There's so many. Reiki, and there's so many for me even to think of. Think, which spiritual direction would you like to go down, and how can you then teach that and show all that wisdom to others? That's what's important for you as a seven, to trust your soul and then teach others to trust theirs. You have valuable insights. You do. Into life's mysteries, not only things you've read and researched, but things that your intuition has told you. It all needs to be built on faith, not necessarily reason or logic or overthinking. Okay, this is very much not about overthinking. You have a lot of cellular memory as a seven. It's one of the more developed life paths. So you have that intuitive knowing within you, especially a 167, the karmic debt. If you reject spirituality as well, you're going to go through extra difficulties and you will be called upon to embrace it. So whatever happens in your life, you will need to, whether you are already or whether you're going to or whether you refuse to, you will eventually need to embrace that spiritual way and that trust in yourself and your own soul. Okay, it's really important for you as a seven. As I've said, it's important for the seven to live a spiritual life and be led by your soul's previous experience. Let your soul guide you, but be careful that it's your soul guiding you and not your fears. Very important. Meditate daily to stay in contact with your intuitive wisdom and to be sure that it is your intuitive wisdom that you are following and not fear. Okay? Teach others to trust their own intuitive wisdom too. That is what you are here to do. So, what I've been talking about up to now is the seven in general, and you can be just a seven. If your birthday adds up to 7, then you're a 7. And just those previous slides that I've just talked through are relevant. They're still relevant if you're a 167, if you're a 257, 347, or a 437, or a 527. They're all still relevant because you're still a 7. But what I'm about to show you is some of the slight nuances of the different life paths that will help you be the best life path 7 you can be. Because there's 6 ways to be a life path 7. Okay, and you need to know which type of life path 7 are you, and how can you best be the life path 7 that you can be. So a 167, that is a karmic debt. That means in a previous lifetime you have built something incredible, whether that be a relationship, a business, anything really, and then you've made some silly nana decisions and brought all that crashing down. Okay, you may have gone outside your marriage. You may have made some really difficult decisions that have completely messed up your life or completely changed your life for the better maybe, but it's come with amazing pain and difficulty. You're about the rise and fall as a 167, the process of destruction and then bringing something new. It's a continuous cycle of pain, destruction and rebirth. But even though it brings you difficulties in your life, it is an amazing big jump in your spiritual evolution. It's a major jump to higher consciousness. Okay. The 167, you're an old soul. Okay, so you've been around here loads of times before. And the 167 path is a path of massive progress and spiritual growth. You will go through many ups and downs in your life, and you'll do things that seem to crush the plans you've made. That, you know, outwardly it looks like a disaster, and other people might go, what the hell have you done? But for you, it could be the best thing you've ever done, even though it brings pain initially. Okay. And that could be, for example, walking out on a long-term relationship and all your mates going, what the hell? I thought you were the perfect couple. But underneath it all, you realise that it probably wasn't the best thing for you. So all of a sudden, one day, you've just taken everything you've built together and walked out. And then you find that actually it brings you a better future, even though it's brought you pain or even lost you friends, lost you relationships. Things aren't meant to be easy. So as a 167, it's important for you to make really, really good decisions, but not necessarily decisions that other people would advise you to make. You know, if you feel that a big change is needed, and that you feel that you've built your life in the wrong direction and you really feel that you need to pull it all apart again and rebuild, then that's what you need to do. Don't listen to anyone else. It will cause pain for others because others won't understand where you're coming from. But if this is important for you, it's important that you do it. And as a 167, it's also important for you, because you're a 7, for all 7s, to trust your intuition. If your intuition says you're building in the wrong direction, then you're building in the wrong direction, as long as it's not based on fear. Use those intuitions and perceptions to guide you, and then build community. Help other people, but be careful to balance your ideals with reality, because an ideal is an ideal for a reason. It's an ideal because we're not quite there yet. We're not quite there yet, and we might not ever get to that ideal. It's good to have them, but you've got to understand that you might not get there. You must embrace realism, and when you've embraced that realism, you can be innovative, you can be groundbreaking, and you can really take your life forward. So resist the need, as the 7 always does. It's really important that you resist the need to isolate yourself more than is healthy, because you need to build community. You need to get out there and get people listening to your ideas and building up community. Have you made choices that have destroyed all your plans? Think about it. When before in your life have you made choices that have destroyed everything that you've ever built? Did it bring good things? What did you learn from that? Another thought expression for you there, guys. Ask yourself, how have the tough lessons in my life been a learning experience? Think about all those tough lessons. Think them through. What have you learned from that? What have you learned from making decisions that have destroyed all your plans? What have you learned? What innovative ideas would you bring to the world if you could? What innovative ideas have you already got that you're too fearful to bring to the world? Have you let your insecurities or your need for perfectionism stop you in any way? If you have, then you need to stop that and get those ideas out there. The ideal, the perfection, the fear, they're all stopping you from being the person that you could be. Very important for a 7, for all 7s. Develop spiritual practices like meditation and yoga. Remember, you're an old soul as a 167, and you've got so much cellular memory that you can look for, that you can read, that you can use to your advantage. Really, really important. The 257. So if you're a life path 257, you're here to trust the soul within you like any other life path 7, in others and in the process of your life. Difficulties are there for a reason, so that you feel safe enough to open up and share your intuitions and your wisdoms with the world. That's really important. That's the core element of a 7. You must trust your intuition, not your analytical mind. Focus on, because if you're a 7, you're likely to be interested in a lot of different topics, especially if there's 5 in your numbers. I'm an expression number 5, and there's loads of spiritual topics that I'm really interested in. But I focused on one, numerology, which is my real baby, the one that I focus most of my life on. So you focus down on one spiritual topic with focus and discipline. Now, sometimes that's going to get boring and you're going to want to jump to one of your other interests for a while. Try and focus on this discipline, because freedom only comes through focus and discipline. Focus on that one particular spiritual topic with, determination. Okay. Develop that specialism. That's really important for a 257 to be the best life path 7 they can be, to have a specialism, and then to communicate that skill and specialism skillfully to the world, and then build a team, build a cooperative team where you can all work together in order to bring that spiritual specialism to the world. Where or in what specialism would you like to focus your energy if you don't know already? Okay, just let me let my cat through. All right, darling. You want to come in? Come on then. Oreo's come in, but he went back out again. Right. I might be disturbed again, guys, because there is another cat that is desperate for me to open the door for him. So that's specialism. Having a specialism and working alongside others will make you the best life path 7 that you can be. So where or in what specialism would you most like to focus your energy if you haven't already? Out of all your interests, if you had to choose one, what would it be? If you haven't already made that choice, you must do that soon if you want to be the best life path 7 you can be. Choose a specialism, a spiritual specialism. Okay? Develop spiritual practices like meditation and yoga, because that will help you to focus your very scattered energy. Because when you have 5 in your numbers, you're going to have, I like this and I like that and I like that. What can I choose? I just love them all. But remember, you need to focus. So meditate, do yoga, deep breathing, any relaxation techniques, so that you can focus your scattered mind and really know which direction and path to go down. Resist the need to isolate yourself. You 7s and us 7s, I'm a 7, isolate yourself sometimes more than is healthy, because it's important for the 2-7 especially not to isolate themselves, because you need to work within a team. You need to communicate your specialism skillfully. That's the whole point. That's what's going to make you the best life path 7 you can be. So for the 257 especially, it's really important that you do not isolate yourself more than is healthy. Some isolation and alone time is desperately needed by the 7. And, you know, do not give up your alone time, but just don't do it more than is healthy. Make sure you're communicating with others. Make sure you're working within your team. That's how you can be the best 257 that you can be. Okay. Join groups or organizations on your specialism. Communicate your specialized wisdom skillfully. It's really important. Just checking on the cat. You know, he keeps poking his head through the cat flap, and when he sees my legs, because he's a bit of a scaredy cat, he goes backwards, back out the cat flap again, poor little mite. And he's tried twice so far, and I want to help him get in, because it's cold and windy out there, poor little mite. So if he comes back and I suddenly stand up, it's because I'm trying to get my poor little cat in from the wind. Maybe I'm too much of a softie. I think I am, probably. Anyway, 347. This is me. I'm a 347. So if you're a life path 347, you're here to trust the soul within you, as all life path 7 are. Trust your intuition and not your analytical mind, which I have to work with myself daily on. Your intuition should influence the goals that you set, because remember, for a 347, the 4 is the most important number. And that's about setting goals, planning, having a meticulous process to achieve that plan, being organized, being determined, having a work ethic in order to achieve that plan, those goals, and have a secure base to start from. So that's the most important way for a 347 to be the best 347 that they can be, is to have a plan, definitely, first of all, to have the goals in the first place, have a plan to achieve them, process, prioritize, focus, be determined, keep going, don't cut corners, and don't give up. It's really, really important when you're a 347 that you achieve your goals. Okay, and then whilst you're achieving your goals, and how you can achieve your goals is to express yourself positively, communicate your goals and what you want to do and your spiritual teaching with positive, heartfelt emotion and charisma. So I'm thinking, as a life path 7, maybe I need to build a spiritual business and then communicate that spiritual wisdom to others via YouTube, via the people I meet every day, via the people that I give readings to. Okay, there is a way that everyone can use their life path to help them achieve and be the best life path 7 they can be. So if you are a dog's dangly bits life path 347, you trust your soul 100%. All your decisions are based and led by your heart. You know that your soul and your intuition knows what's best, and you trust it meticulously. You have a clear plan. You know where you're going. You know what goals you want to achieve, and you know how to achieve them. You follow that plan, take action meticulously, and you don't give up. You follow that plan with perseverance, and you communicate that plan with others with skill. You communicate your teaching to others with skill, with emotion, positive emotion that inspires and instructs and motivates and entertains everyone that you speak to. Have you set yourself some goals? Really think, if you're a 347 especially, you need to have goals. It's vital that you have goals. Do you have a plan to achieve those goals? Are you taking action on that plan? If not, why not? Get started, set goals. There's never a bad place to start. If you haven't done so yet and you're a 347, what are your goals? Set a plan, get started. It's really important. Don't give up when the road gets bumpy. Persevere. You have got this. Okay, many times in my life I've thought, oh my God, I'm going to give up. I'm going through that now as I'm building a business up from scratch. You know, it's difficult. It's hard. You hit comfort zones, but you just got to not give up, other 347s. Don't give up. Resist the need to isolate yourself more than is healthy, because you need to communicate and express yourself to others with positive emotions to delight, inspire and instruct. It took me ages to do these life path videos on YouTube. I was terrified, but I knew I had to do it. I knew I had to do it. And it's really important for any 7, including me especially, to have those spiritual practices like yoga and meditation to help to calm your mind and help you keep you on the right track, especially when things are going wrong and you feel like giving up. Sit on that floor, meditate, go to a yoga class, sit and reflect, think positively. You know, things are going to go wrong, problems are going to occur. Don't give up. And make sure you're always expressing yourself to people so that they know your truth. Okay, next, the 4, 3, 7, which is like the other way round to the one I've just said. So for the 3, 4, 7, the most important step to achieving the life path 7 was the 4, and then secondary was the 3. But for this life path, the most important step to be the best life path 7 that a 4, 3, 7 can be is the 3. So more important than having the plan is the need for verbal communication and self-expression to inspire, to delight, to instruct. That's more important than the plan for this life path. So if you're a life path 3, 4, 7, you're here to trust the soul within you, trust your intuition and not your analytical mind or the analytical mind of others. Connect with an audience. With positive, heartfelt, emotional self-expression. Communicate your truth, communicate your passion, communicate your spiritual subject, and people will listen to you because you have charisma. But also secondary is to then have a plan and a goal, or goals, then a plan and a meticulous process and an organised, determined work ethic to do it. So you have the same steps as a 3, 4, 7, but whereas the 3, 4, 7 needs to focus on the plan and how that they're going to put that out in the world, you as a 4, 3, 7 need to focus on how you're going to express that to the world. So if you're a 4, I haven't changed those around on there again, and I checked that. That's just not the first time I've done it either. So your 4, 3, 7 energy in the positive, not 3, 4, your 4, 3 is to trust when your dog's dangly bits 4, 3, 7, you trust your soul's inner knowledge. All your decisions are based on your heart, your soul and your gut because you trust it. Okay. And it never lets you down. You are led by your heart because you know that your soul is correct. You communicate yourself with emotional charisma, positivity, and others love to listen to you because of your skill in entertaining and communicating with others. And you have a clear plan. You have goals to reach and you persevere with those goals and you don't give up. So that's what you're working towards if you're a 4, 3, 7. So it's important for you to trust your intuition and your perceptions and use them to guide you. Communicate with others with heartfelt emotion and positivity, set goals and follow them through to gain the stability that you need in this life. Resist the need to isolate yourself more than is healthy, because the 3 in your numbers means you desperately need to socialize, communicate and express yourself to others. Don't hide away. You're here to learn, to teach, to inspire. Okay, set goals and a plan of how you're going to achieve them. If you don't have any goals yet, why not? You know, this is my challenge to you. If you're a 3, 4 or a 4, 3, 7, set those goals. Okay, they're going to be important, especially for the 3, 4, 7. And as for any 7, develop those spiritual practices like meditation and yoga. Is always helpful for any life path, but for a 7 or an 11, it's vitally important. The 5, 2, 7. And again, I've forgotten to change these 2 little digits round on there. So it's 527, not 257. Do you know how many times I've done that? I'm getting on my own nerves for it now. So if you're a life path 527, you're here to trust the soul within you and trust your intuition, not your analytical mind. You're here to focus on one spiritual topic because you can be quite scattered as a 527, but you're here to work with others most importantly. For the 527, the most important number there is the 2. So remember, it says don't resist the need to isolate yourself, because it's vitally important for the 7 here to be part of a team, to create a team, to socialize, to have amazing social skills work alongside others and communicate your specialism to others. That's what a 527 is all about. But building that team is the most important, because that two closer to the forward slash, that's the most important step for a 527. Okay, so your 527 energy in the positive. You trust your soul's intuition. You follow your heart to the letter. You trust it. You love serving and cooperating whilst working as part of a team. That is really vital for you as a 527, working as a team, developing excellent social skills and being that mediator within the team, whilst focusing on that specialism that you've studied so deeply that you found the space where all your interests link. Okay, so as a 527, it's important for you to trust that intuition, as we already know. But most importantly, for a 527 to be the best 7 you can be, focus on your relationships, building a cooperative and productive team, and they will be the ones that will help you develop your specialism, which will help you get towards the freedom that you desire as a 527. So build your team, get that team to help you, work alongside that team, serve that team, and that specialism can be something that will be part of your future. Okay, very important. So resist that need to isolate yourself, because it's important for you more than any other 7, I think. Hang on, in comes the cat. To be social. Come on then, little man, in you go. Oh, right. He's quite a scaredy cat. He was a stray. So if he comes in through the cat flap and he sees a pair of legs, he backs up and runs a mile. So I had to be like really nice then and help him to get in, because it's freezing out there today. Anyway, as I was saying, it's really important for the 527 especially to link up with people. Even though the 7 makes you feel like you want to isolate yourself, it's important that you don't. Where or in what specialism would you most like to focus your energy if you don't know already? If you're going to work within a team, which is vital for you, you're going to need that specialism. You're going to need to have thought of what that subject, specialism, interest is that you would like to focus your efforts on. If you haven't already do that, that's something you need to do. And because your mind is very scattered, and it's very important for all life path 7s, develop spiritual processes like yoga and meditation that will help calm your scattered mind and help you to be the best life path 7 that you can be. So remember, you're a 527. Connect and socialize with others, build up a team. They will help you bring your specialism forward, and then you will achieve that freedom that you as a life path 7 might desire. I hope you've really enjoyed my video today. If you have, please like my video and just subscribe to my channel. Click that bell icon because that will keep you up to date with all my latest subject matter that's coming up. I'm going to be doing the 7 soul urge, relationship compatibility, and the Mayan day sign 7 next. And I've got about another 30 videos or more already planned up here. I can't wait. I can't get them done quick enough, to be honest. If you want to email me, please email me at katie@soulexplorer.net, or go to my website where I've got information on numerology, and there's going to be more information put on there. And also there's a link to my online aloe vera shop where I sell wellbeing products to help your health and well-being. So please take a look at that. I'm also going to put in the description box all these links to my social media if you'd like to link up with me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn or Twitter. So as ever, guys, trust the soul within you. Only your intuition knows best. Hope to see you all soon.